I came out here and had no acting experience, had never really done it before, and just knew that's what I wanted to do. So I figured, what's an easy introduction? Oh, modeling. Okay, we'll go try this out. So the first agency I walked into was Ford Models, and I remember them saying they wanted to sign me, but I was too tall. I was like, I said I was 6'5".
Is that even possible to be too tall to model?
Well, yeah.
That's too short. But
well, that was the thing that I was like, okay, well, I mean, that sucks. But the woman was so, I'll never forget how kind she was. She was so kind. She's like, okay, well, our tallest model is like 6'3". The problem is if we have like a lineup of people and somebody's like, and then it throws off the entire thing. So you even see usually models, the men and the women are kind of similar heights a lot of times. But so the next agency I walked in that day, because I was going to all these open calls or whatever, and they signed me across the board. And well, that was a real fun experience. I didn't really go anywhere, but I learned a lot about the industry, right? And then flash forward, I was like, okay, it's time for me to go find a new agency because this one's not working out. I'm grateful they signed me. I lived in Orange County. It was hard to commute. I was broke. I couldn't afford gas money to get out and go do the thing anyways. So when I got to the point where I was a little bit more on my feet, I remember walking into, I think it was Next Model. It was one of these agencies that were pretty big at the time. Maybe still big, I don't know. But I had, I think, 100,000 followers at the time, and nobody really had followings then. Like very few people, and they're like, people are losing their jobs because of social media. It was happening left and right, and they're like, you can model. We would love to sign you, but we don't know if you're going to work full time. But what you should do is keep building your brand. And I'm like, my brand? I was like, what do you mean, my brand? And I remember walking out of there, and I saw this billboard of Jessica Alba, and she was drinking this water, and I'm like, my brand. I was like, she's not up there because she's beautiful, even though she's gorgeous.
It's her brand.
She's up there because she's Jessica Alba, not just a beautiful woman. She just happened to also be one. And I was like, I have to build my brand. I get it. Okay. So I didn't even sign with the agency. I just was like, let me keep pushing and put more time and more effort into this and growing it. And then that's when it started to really make sense for me of, okay, I can actually turn this into a business, and I can turn this into whatever I want to, make out of it. And so I started a personal training company, and then that transferred into online, and that turned into brand deals, and then that turned into trips and working with awesome people, and then acting, and one thing after another. It was funny. I was just filming this show with Nick Kroll a couple weeks ago, and I can't wait for this one to come out. It's so much fun. But they booked me because of my work on The Righteous Gemstones. They saw me, they thought I was a perfect fit for this character they wanted in their show, and it was awesome. But I think maybe the second week of me filming with them, they're like, so Brock, man bun, huh? So they ended up looking up like how I got famous or at the time, and I was like, oh, I'm never gonna get rid of this thing.
Well, at least it wasn't a sex tape,
Well, I mean, Kim Kardashian has a lot more success than me.
I mean, yeah, I think it's also pretty crazy that people think that viral is like a premeditated concept. Like the man bun, you didn't know that was going to go off the way it was, and you probably had premeditated content before that going, okay, this is going to do well, the gym stuff's going to do well, and you just never know. Like I feel like clients still come to me going, okay, we want viral content. It's like viral content doesn't exist in a strategy. It's content that is like, whoa, someone actually really liked this and shared it, and it has no form. It can be anything.
We talk about that a lot with friends and influencers in the space. Nobody knows what's going to go viral.
Yeah,
you can, but some people have a good idea. They know the audience. They throw things at the wall, and they can make 100 videos, and maybe one of them goes viral if you're lucky. And that's kind of what has happened with me. Is for some reason, the random things would gain traction, go viral, do whatever. Like, I mean, I posted a thing that was on my Instagram story, and I got my normal views on my Instagram story, right? But I posted a TikTok. I don't even use TikTok. And then it was like 20 million views on TikTok. And I'm like, it's the back of my head and me walking. This makes no sense whatsoever.
Someone enjoyed it.
Exactly. And so it's you can kind of try to think, but there's no way to do it. I think if you just focus on bringing your own uniqueness, being you, and being your own creative self, and it's funny for me because my passion is so much filmmaking and telling stories in that medium. And so for me, social media is like, it's not how I feel naturally inclined to create content.
Yeah.
But then as I'm doing it more, I'm like, okay, I'm at a point now where I'm like, I want to add more value because these people are supporting me. They're following me. They want to watch this content. They want to watch me for whatever reason. Gratitude. I want to give more back to them now.
Yeah.
And that's where our conception of the podcast, came about. It's connecting more with people, connecting more with the audience, and putting out another form of content on social media platforms and just creating in general. It's just fun to create. And then the people I've met through the whole process has been so much fun.
Yeah, I love this type of content, because it's like open conversation. You don't know where it's going to go. And with also the viral content, I think what does go viral is when I was looking at scrolling yesterday and trying to understand what would make sense, because I have to do this brand strategy for this pretty high level client and I have to figure out viral content for them. But what I was noticing that I would stop on is the content that made me want to understand what the end result was and make me watch. And then suddenly I was in this like trance of watching it on loop. I was like, okay, why is my brain wanting to see it over and over again? And I was like trying to dissect that, because I think that's where viral content comes, is like you want to see the end result so bad, and then you want to see it again because you really enjoyed the feeling of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. How does it make you feel? Because that's like a good film makes you feel.
Yeah.
And it keeps you in, and you connect with the narrative, you connect with the cinematography, the sound design, and like each post, if it's a video, it's like a mini film, and you can control all those things. And like, is it good graphic design? Is the composition good? Is the background, the lighting, right?
Yeah.
Like you can control all of that, the color. So yeah, that's a good strategy.
Yeah.
And like you can definitely tell if you like something, right? I mean, if you're creating something for a brand, you're like, okay, I know this is at the very least appealing, attractive, makes you feel. And like, if it goes viral, it goes viral. But like you guys are saying, you can't really control that.
Yeah.
You can just put your best foot forward for that brand.
Yeah.
And like make the best post you can.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed the video.
And subscribe and hit the bell for a whole lot more to come.
Thanks for tuning in to Studio 22.